Air pollution is one of the most serious environmental and public health challenges in India. Fine particles known as PM 2.5 and PM10 can affect the lungs and heart, especially for children, older adults, and people with existing health conditions. Pollution comes from many sources, including vehicle emissions, industrial activity, construction dust, household fuels, and seasonal crop residue. Burning the exact contribution of each source varies by cities and seasons. To improve air quality, governments have introduced measures such as cleaner fuel standards, the National Clean Air Program, stricter emission norms, public transport improvements, and dust control measures like water sprinkling. Recently, a public discussion followed an interview with Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta. During the interview, questions were raised about water sprinkling near an air quality monitoring location. The Chief Minister said that AQI is like temperature and explained that water is sprayed to control dust. The remarks sparked a debate. Critics questioned whether water sprinkling close to a monitoring station could influence local readings. The Delhi government has maintained that water sprinkling is just a dust control measure, not an attempt to alter citywide pollution data. Air Quality Index or AQI is calculated using measurements of pollutants such as PM25, PM10, ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon monoxide. Experts note that water sprinkling can temporarily reduce dust in a specific location but is not considered a long term solution for improving a city's overall air quality. Recently in India, a famous podcaster named Brian Johnson came to visit India but soon left India. You know why? Just see this video.
You don't live under a rock, you have most likely heard of him. He's an American tech entrepreneur and an anti-aging fanatic. Brian Johnson.
One of our biggest concerns in coming to India is the air quality. I think they have right now the worst air quality in the entire world. And it's interesting that nobody is wearing a mask.
Did you get hurted after listening this? Bro, this is the truth and you cannot hide the truth from the public. And a foreigner says it, not even our own Indian. To understand this debate, we first need to understand what the air quality index or AQI actually is. AQI is not measured by looking at the sky or by a person's opinion. It is calculated using scientific instruments that continuously measures pollutant in the air. The main pollutants used to calculate AQI include PM 2.5, PM 10, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, and ammonia in some locations. These measurements are collected automatically by monitoring stations and converted into an AQI value. Scientists explain that spraying water can temporarily reduce dust particles, especially larger particles such as PM10 in the immediate area. This is why water sprinkling is commonly used at construction sites and on dusty roads. However, experts also point out that the effect is usually temporary and local. Once the weather dries or traffic resumes, dust can become airborne again. Water sprinkling does not remove pollution from an entire city, or does it nor does it eliminate pollution from vehicles, industries, or crop residue burning. Long term improvements in air quality generally require reducing pollution at its source. This also raises an important scientific question: if water is sprayed very close to an air quality monitoring station, could it temporarily reduce dust in the immediate surroundings? Environmental experts say this is a technical question that should be answered using monitoring protocols, scientific studies, and official investigations rather than assumption. How are AQI monitoring stations designed to ensure accurate readings? Can short-term dust suppression effect measurements at a nearby location? What safeguards exist to prevent bias monitoring? What do official CPCB guidelines say? Science helps answer questions with evidence. In public debates, the most reliable conclusion come from transparent data, independent verification, and long-term monitoring rather than isolated observation.